Very much, and it is such a privilege to be here this morning with each and every one of you. I am honored. I am absolutely honored. I want to take some of the traditions that I do in my community to all of you this morning, and we're speaking about gratitude this morning, which is one of my favorite subjects. I love the subject of prayer, and I love the subject of gratitude. So let's say to our neighbor, wish each other a happy Sunday. So turn to your neighbor and wish each other a happy Sunday. Yes, 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 happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. That always works, that always makes everyone feel, I don't know, there's like a different shift in the energy. We do that every Sunday at my center, and it's like a blessing, it really is, because we are wishing each other happiness. We are giving each other a message of happiness. And I want to kind of start out this morning with a message for you about gratitude. Gratitude, Meister Eckhart said, if the only prayer you say in your entire life is thank you, that would be enough. And I love that. I really love that. Because what we are thankful for grows and multiplies. And so that if you have gratitude in your life, you are so richly blessed already by being grateful. Even in the times when sometimes you don't want to be grateful. Anyone ever have that feeling? Yes, both hands for Joseph. They both went up. You see, when you are grateful, when you have gratitude, you learn to live in the presence of thank you. I love that. You are living in the presence of thank you when you are honoring the idea that you are at one with this power and this presence. That's what we teach in this teaching. My teacher, Dr. Grayson, taught a lot about gratitude. Reverend Michael Beckwith also speaks about gratitude. Gratitude is something that changes us because it changes us from fear to love. Gratitude is actually recognizing the power and the presence within you. It is allowing yourself to be at one with this spirit. It is allowing yourself to come from that divine divinity within you. It honors us. It blesses us. I want to share something with you. I love this area. Oh my goodness, you guys, you don't know how lucky you are. You are very, very blessed. You really are. It's beautiful here. And again, I thank Nick and Joe for their wonderful hospitality. I feel like I'm living on Walden Pond when I'm at their place. I really do. It's just so lovely there. And I feel like I want to share a little story with you before I do the lesson. Last night, we were at a bakery. Anybody like bakeries, or am I the only one? I love bakeries. And there's a bakery in town, and it's called the Blue Duck Bakery. And I went in there, and I was admiring all the goodies, and they actually had a little flourless treat in there, a little chocolate flourless treat. So I had one of them for myself, and it was very good. And I started speaking to the woman there who was behind the counter, telling her what a lovely bakery it was. They had so many goodies. I said, what do you do with all these things at the end of the day? Do you mind my asking? And she said, we throw them away. And I said, oh my goodness, you make all these goodies and you just throw them away? I said, are you going to throw all this stuff away? And she said, yes. I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to a center tomorrow and I can bring all of these goodies. And that's what I did. She gave me so many goodies that I packed them all up in a bag and I brought them all here for you. So please enjoy them. They're all downstairs. Joe said it was criminal, but you know what? It's all good. It's all good. It is all good. Right? It is all good because it is all spirit. Spirit, if you live in the atmosphere of gratitude, you are saying yes to life. That's really what it's about. It's about saying yes to life instead of saying no to life. There certainly is a lot of controversy going on in the world, but we must come within ourselves and bless ourselves every day and be grateful for all of the things that we have. When we are grateful, we are recognizing that power and that presence that is within us. I am so grateful for everything that I have in my life. You see, you can practice the presence or you can practice the absence. That's entirely up to you. And when you practice the presence, you are blessing yourself and you are saying thank you. You are being grateful for each and everything that you have in your life. Gratitude. Gratitude is actually living in an atmosphere of peace, because when you are grateful and saying thank you, you are always being blessed and you are always being empowered. There is so much joy in gratitude. Gratitude acts as a theme in our lives. I want to start out with something by Thomas Troward. Anybody ever hear of Thomas Troward? Yes, right? What do you think of him? You love him? He's wonderful. He's brilliant. Yes. He's also very challenging. It's very challenging for me. It took me years to understand Troward. And even if Dr. Grayson said the same thing. He said it took him years, so I felt very good about that, because Dr. Grayson, I don't know if any of you were ever exposed to that man. He was my teacher for 15 years. He was a brilliant man, and he was very, very spiritual. He had an incredible spirituality about him, and he was definitely a healer. I was privileged, and I will be grateful for the rest of my life for that man, as long as I live. And you know, people get into this stuff about personality. Personality can take you down the wrong road, because when someone gives you a gift and you don't like their personality, that's your choice. But if they give you a gift, accept it. I have people that say to me all the time, oh, but Dr. Grayson this or that or any other thing. He gave me an incredible gift by sharing this teaching with me. And that's all I know about him. I love the man. I'm grateful for him. I have gratitude in my heart, and I always will, for what he gave me. That is the gift that you are given. And when you accept a gift from someone and you let go of the idea of personality, you are truly accepting it. Do you see that? You are truly accepting what they have to give you, because it is a privilege to accept something from someone when you just take the gift and you leave the rest of the stuff. See, we want to go into all this stuff all the time, and I say no. I just want to accept the gift that is given to me. I want to take that gift and I want to receive it completely, and I want to receive it with love. And when you receive it with love, you let go of all that stuff. We can always put stuff upon people, but it's when we let go of it and we truly receive that love and that presence and that power that each and every one of us is blessed. My teacher gave me a blessing. He gave me this teaching. I will love him forever for that. So let me share something from Thomas Troward. Thomas Troward said, the universal essence of life is a continual becoming, which is the title of the talk today. Gratitude is becoming to you. So in other words, the essence is always becoming more of itself within you. It is always giving to you more and more and more. It is yours to take. And you can choose to take it and accept it, or you can choose to reject it. There's a lot of rejection out there. Have you noticed that? Yes. You need to let go of this rejection that we have, this human rejection, and you need to move along with the love and the peace and the power that is yours. Aligning yourself with that power, that's recognition, that's gratitude. That is the first step in our prayer work that we practice. We practice prayer, we practice gratitude. So he is saying the essence of life is a continual becoming. The essence is always becoming more of itself through you. It is always acting for you. And when you recognize that and accept that, you are moved forward, onward, and upward in consciousness into a greater realization of not only who you are, but whose you are. Reverend Michael Beckwith talks about that a lot. I love that. It is not about who you are, but whose you are. You are one with this power and this presence within you. And then Dr. Grayson, if I may be so bold to quote him, he says, this is the key to this lesson as well. It is not the essence of life which has to grow, for that is already perfect within itself. It is our recognition of that essence within us which has to grow. Do you see that? It is your recognizing the divine power within you that needs to grow. The power itself is eternally perfect. It's always there for us. We have to let go of the interference. Do you ever interfere with your life? I do. Yes. all the time. There's all kinds of interference that we play with ourselves, right? When we let go of the interference, when we are recognizing that power and presence within us, we then can be grateful. And the more grateful we are, the more then that we will have to be grateful for. I have begun this practice at my center throughout the month of November. Our theme was gratitude. And I learn so much when I do these lessons. I'm always learning. I will be a student of this teaching for the rest of my life. And one of the things that I learned that I want to share with you this morning is to always silently think of the words, thank you. And when someone prays for you, go into the silence and say thank you. So that whatever they are saying to you, whatever they are saying for you, say the words, thank you. Say the words, thank you, very silently, and you will receive a blessing. You are always being blessed by this spirit within you. It is that power which is always giving to you. And it is your work in this life to accept that power and to work with it, not to work against it. Do not reject that power, accept it. That is gratitude. Gratitude says yes to life. Gratitude says, yes, I can have more, I can be more, and I can do more, always. And gratitude has no age, it has no gender. You cannot see it or feel it or even smell it. But yet it's there, it's always there. When you are grateful for something, when you say thank you, I live in the presence of thank you. I love that. I absolutely love that. Because no matter what is going on, no matter what the challenge is, if you say thank you, you begin to shift the energy. You begin to shift your own energy from no to yes. Practice it, try it. That's the intention of this lesson this morning, is that you will take this lesson and you will begin to practice something. You see, action is also required. If you sit around all day saying affirmations, that's going to work in some way for you, but you must also practice the presence. Emmett Fox spoke about that so many times. We are always practicing the presence in our lives by the way that we treat ourselves and the way that we treat other people. We practice gratitude by saying thank you. In the silence, when you say thank you, when someone prays for you in this community, go into the silence and say thank you. Begin to recognize the prayer and accept it for yourself. Begin to receive it. Begin to know whose you are. Not only who you are, but whose you are. There is a power for good, Ernest Holmes said, in the universe, and you and I can use it. And with gratitude, we are recognizing that power. We are saying thank you to it all of the time. When we use it, it is using us, and it is ours to use. When you have an intention about something, when you want to create something in your life, begin by saying thank you. Yes, I can do this. You see? When you're walking down a road and different challenges come up, as they always do, we must learn how to get through those challenges. And we get through them by shifting our energy, by changing our energy to saying yes instead of no, and saying thank you, being one with the Spirit, living in that spiritual presence, allowing ourselves to express gratitude, being grateful for everything that we have. It is so very, very important. And so gratitude is always with us. When you are grateful, you are lightening your heart and you are erasing your fear, letting go of fear. In the Course of Miracles, it says there are two emotions, love and fear. Now, I have never studied the Course of Miracles, but I know that Marianne Williamson studies it. She's a product of that. And I love her work. I love the way she writes, and she's a wonderful writer. She just ran for Congress out in California and did not win. They weren't ready for her yet, even in California. But that's okay. That's okay. Give them another 5 years or so and they will be ready. She's an amazing, amazing woman, And how many of you have read Return to Love or any of her work? She's done some amazing, amazing work. She practices the principles of gratitude. You know, whenever you come up against a challenge, begin to practice the principle of gratitude. Begin to say thank you, even when you don't want to say thank you. Begin to practice that presence within your life. It will always serve you, always. And so I am grateful today just for being here, just for being. How about being? Being grateful for just being who you are and being whose you are. I have a few minutes left, and what I'd like to do is a spiritual mind treatment for each and every one of you based upon the idea of gratitude, if that's okay. I'd like to do that for you. I'd like to leave you with a consciousness of love and peace and a greater expectancy of good in your life. And the way that you get that expectancy and the way that you bring those things about is by being grateful. And I just want to say one more thing very quickly. I started out in New York City in a very tiny room, probably about a third of the size of this room, with 15 people 6 years ago. We just celebrated our 6th anniversary. And I used to tell people, you know what? I really started with nothing. But then I began to realize, no, Loretta, you didn't start with nothing. You started with something. You started with spirit. Remember that always. You never, never, never start anything with nothing. You always start something with that presence and that power for good that is within each and every one of you. Remember that when you go out in your day. Remember that when you are starting a new venture. You never start with nothing. Today I have 15 practitioners, 50 to 70 people on Sunday, music, fun, and a lot of food all the time. Let me do a spiritual mind treatment for all of you, and I feel so blessed to be here with each and every one of you. Let's go within, and let's know the nature of gratitude. There is one life, one power, and one presence in this universe. That power and that presence is for good. And it operates right here and right now as a force field of energy within the conscious mind of each and every person in this room, including the speaker. Each one is not only uplifted and inspired by this word, but each one is more connected to the divine than ever before, moving out into life with gratitude. Gratitude for always being enough, always having enough, and always being able to be more connected to that divinity within. There is a purpose for each and everyone's life in this room. Each one knows that, accepts that, and moves out into life with a greater anticipation of joy and peace and empowerment. Each one with gratitude accepts the idea that when God is for you, there is nothing and no one that can be against you. And God is for each and every person in this room. Each one then is so richly blessed, so uplifted, and so inspired that there is a shift of energy in the heart and mind of each and every person. Each one knows not only who they are, but whose they are. There is a power for good in the universe, and each one is now using it in a more constructive, delightful way than ever before. And so with gratitude and appreciation for the wonderful way that Spirit is at work in our lives, I simply say thank you to Spirit, releasing this treatment into the law, knowing that each and every person in this room has a joyous personal demonstration throughout this day and throughout this week. This word is the truth released into law, so be it. And together we say, and so it is. And that is the way it is. Thank you.